On a quiet winter evening in Redwood Falls, a mystery began to unfold, one that would haunt the town for decades and leave investigators with more questions than answers. Emily Carter, a bright 17-year-old, vanished without a trace. Her disappearance cracked open a chilling case no one could predict, triggering fear across the peaceful community. Residents last saw Emily walking home after school. She seemed calm, unaware that these would be her final known steps on a cold December afternoon. The snowfall that day covered more than just footprints, it buried the truth. Every flake seemed to erase a clue, leaving investigators desperately searching. Her phone was recovered near a frozen creek. Screen shattered. The last recorded ping ended abruptly, cutting off any digital trace she might have left behind. Police combed the area for hours, flashlights slicing through fog, but every lead turned cold. Every clue dissolved into the winter silence. Emily's mother reported she never came home. Panic spread almost instantly because in Redwood Falls, disappearances simply didn't happen. Within minutes, volunteers flooded the streets. Neighbors, friends, even strangers searched through the snow, hoping to find any sign of the missing teen. But with each passing hour, dread grew heavier. Search teams realized this wasn't just a lost in the snow case. Something far darker was unfolding. Posters of Emily spread across town. Her smiling face stood in sharp contrast to the fear gripping the community, reminding everyone of unanswered questions. Police expanded their radius, investigating woods, frozen lakes, and old abandoned sheds. Yet everything pointed to a disappearance without explanation. A local resident claimed he saw a shadowy figure near the bridge that night. But the description was vague and the fog distorted everything. Detectives studied camera footage from nearby shops. One frame showed Emily walking past a streetlight. Then she vanished into a blind spot. That blind spot became the case's darkest secret. No camera covered it, no witness saw her after it. It was as if the night swallowed her whole. Investigators questioned classmates, friends, even distant acquaintances. Everyone had theories, but no one had real answers. Rumors spread quickly. Some said she ran away, others whispered of someone following her. Each rumor twisted the truth further out of reach. Police dogs traced her scent up to the Redwood Bridge, but lost it near the center. The icy wind carried nothing but silence and unanswered fears. By the second week, the case grew national attention. Journalists crowded the small town, searching for details the investigators themselves lacked. Emily's family pleaded for information on live TV, their voices trembling. The nation watched, hoping for a breakthrough that never came. Then a chilling discovery. A torn piece of Emily's jacket found near a snow-covered trail. It reignited hope, but also deepened the terrifying mystery. Forensic teams rushed to the scene, examining the torn fabric. Snow concealed tracks, but the cold air hinted that someone or something had been there recently. Detectives rechecked the trail's path. It led deeper into the woods, a place locals avoided after dark. Every step echoed with the weight of growing uncertainty. Footprints appeared briefly in the snow before fading into the icy ground. They were too light, too scattered, almost as if the person were moving in panic. A glove was discovered beneath a fallen branch. Though damaged, it matched Emily's. Yet no other clues surrounded it, as if it had been placed deliberately. Locals recalled hearing a strange hum that night near the bridge. Some blamed wind tunnels, others believed it was connected to Emily's disappearance. Investigators brought in drones to scan the forest. The footage showed broken branches, disturbed snow, and vague shapes no one could identify. Tire tracks were found near an old service road, half covered by frost. They didn't belong to any local vehicles, raising new suspicions. An abandoned cabin appeared on drone footage, hidden behind thick trees. Authorities decided to search it, hoping for answers to the growing mystery. Inside the cabin, objects were scattered everywhere. Old blankets, dusty lanterns, and footprints too fresh to ignore. Someone had been there recently. A notebook was discovered near the cabin's window. The first page was torn, but faint writing remained. Words hinting at fear, escape, and watching eyes. Experts analyzed the handwriting. It didn't match Emily's, yet the notes described someone being followed along the same trail she disappeared on. The next entry mentioned a figure in the woods. Silent, tall, always standing just beyond the reach of light. The description shook investigators. Police wondered whether the writer had witnessed Emily or faced the same threat that night. Either way, the clues aligned too closely to ignore. Old footprints inside the cabin suggested two different shoe sizes, meaning the place wasn't used by one person, but by at least two individuals. A lantern left burning faintly inside the cabin raised questions. Why would someone leave in a hurry, abandoning the only source of light? Detectives mapped the cabin's location and realized it lined up perfectly with the blind spot where Emily vanished on camera. Phone records traced to an unknown number pinged near the cabin the night Emily disappeared. The call lasted only 20 seconds. Investigators believed the caller might have seen something or been involved, but the number was never registered, disappearing like the clues themselves. As temperatures dropped, search teams doubled their efforts. Each new clue added layers to a case already drowning in uncertainty. But then a breakthrough. A boot print near a frozen creek larger than any found before. It pointed to someone who'd been watching from the shadows. Detectives examined the boot print closely. Its depth suggested a heavy step, someone confident or someone carrying something through the snow. Plaster molds were taken, and the pattern showed it didn't match any local brand. Whoever left it had traveled from outside Redwood Falls. Nearby branches were snapped at shoulder height. The spacing hinted at a tall person moving deliberately, as though familiar with the forest's terrain. Dogs picked up a faint scent leading toward a narrow ridge. It was weak, almost frozen in the cold air, but still enough to pull investigators forward. Halfway up the ridge, officers found strands of fabric snagged on thorns. The color matched Emily's jacket, renewing hope and dread all at once. A flashlight half buried in snow lay near the ridge's peak. Its battery was dead, but fingerprints on the casing suggested it wasn't hers. The ridge overlooked a deserted maintenance tunnel entrance. Despite being sealed for years, fresh snow around it was disturbed, hinting recent activity. Bolt marks on the tunnel door showed it had been forced open. Someone had entered or exited just hours before the search team arrived. Inside the tunnel, the air felt heavy. Water dripped rhythmically, echoing like footsteps, amplifying tension with each passing second. Investigators found scratch marks on the walls, uneven and frantic. No one could tell whether they were warnings or desperate attempts to escape. Deeper inside, they discovered discarded food wrappers and footprints. Whoever hid there had stayed long enough to prepare and plan. A faint metallic sound echoed ahead. Officers froze, listening. The noise repeated, slow, deliberate, as if someone knew they were being followed. The team advanced, weapons drawn only to find an old metal gate swinging slightly. No person in sight, just the lingering sense of a recent presence. Beyond the gate lay a narrow passage leading toward an opening in the forest. It offered a direct path back to the blind spot near the bridge. This connection changed everything. It meant the tunnel wasn't random, it was part of a route someone used to approach the bridge unseen. Outside, fresh snow revealed overlapping footprints. One set small and hurried, the other larger, steady, almost stalking. Forensic teams compared both sizes. The smaller prints matched Emily's shoes. The larger ones matched the boot print near the creek. This discovery confirmed investigators' worst fear. Emily wasn't alone that night. Someone had followed her every step toward the bridge. A nearby tree displayed deep marks like someone grabbing it for support. Traces of fabric remained embedded in the bark, barely visible. Those fibers matched Emily's jacket exactly. It was clear she struggled, if only for a moment, before being dragged deeper into the shadows. Detectives returned to the case room, piecing together every clue. The board filled with photos, maps, and timelines, but still no clear path forward. Red strings connected every fragment of evidence. Yet the more they connected, the more the truth seemed to twist into darker uncertainty. Outside, rain tapped against the window. The detective stared at Emily's poster, haunted by the feeling that the answer was hidden in plain sight. Redwood Bridge reappeared in new footage, its empty walkway illuminated in cold blue tones. It stood like a monument to unanswered questions. A new lead emerged years later. A hiker reported seeing a girl in the forest who resembled Emily. Hope flickered again after years of silence. Old security footage from a cabin showed a blurry figure watching from behind trees. The shadow matched descriptions from the abandoned notes. Night vision footage revealed a pale face peering through branches. The expression was blank, distant, almost frozen in time. Investigators enhanced the footage. The girl's hair, coat, and stance resembled Emily, but the eyes looked empty, as if she had vanished long ago. Detectives gathered around a laptop, reviewing the footage frame by frame. Each flicker created new theories, none of them comforting. Police vehicles raced toward the forest once more. Even after years, they refused to abandon the hope of finding the truth behind Emily's case. Searchlights swept over thick snow, revealing scattered footprints. Dogs barked, signaling a scent, faint but unmistakably human. A security camera on a nearby cabin caught movement behind the trees. A figure passed slowly, almost gliding, as if avoiding detection. Detectives compared the cabin footage with older images. The resemblance to Emily was uncanny, raising chilling questions about her fate. The bridge stood silent at dusk, its lights glowing faintly. Investigators felt it held answers, if only they knew where to look.
Camera panned across the empty walkway, shadows stretching long. Every detail suggested the place knew more than it revealed.
Emily's missing poster remained on the lamppost, edges torn by time. It symbolized a mystery the town could never let go of. The river reflected dim lights under the bridge. Ripples formed shapes that seemed to mimic silhouettes, stirring old fears. A lone figure stood at the far end of the bridge. Fog wrapped around them, blurring their form and creating a chilling sense of déjà vu. Drone footage captured the snowy town from above. The bridge and forest formed a perfect line, one that mirrored the path Emily took that night.
Snow fell softly as final text appeared. Some mysteries don't fade, they wait. And Redwood Falls remained forever haunted by Emily's shadow.
Let us know in the comments how you liked this story. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe and stay with us for more thrilling mysteries.